What's going on? Hey guys, hey YouTube, pop culture fandom, and I'm back with part 2 of my physical media collection. And this time we're going to start on row 2. In the previous video I did the first row, and I showed you everything I have. And in this video I'm going to show you we're starting on the second row. And then I'll just do next video be third and then the final one. So if you haven't seen the first part, go watch it, give it a thumbs up, and subscribe. Hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and comment if you like everything physical media, if you like everything movies, TV shows, pop culture. Please subscribe. So let's get started at this end. Okay. This is going to be a little difficult because it's not going to be easy to pull these out. Resident Evil Apocalypse, which is the second movie in the franchise of Paul W.S. Anderson. Jumper. This is a good sci-fi movie. It's got some strange parts to it that kind of doesn't make sense, but other than that, you know, it's not bad. Iron Man 2, which is the sequel to the first Iron Man and the third film in the MCU. Oops. Final Destination, The Final Destination, which was supposed to be I think the fourth and last film in the franchise, but then it continued with the fifth one. And I heard they're supposed to be making another one. I'm not sure if that's true or not. It's supposed to be coming to streaming, but if it is true, I can't wait to see it because I love this franchise. Final Destination 3 with the roller coaster. These are all DVDs, by the way, guys. All my 4Ks and Blu-rays are at the top, so the rest are just DVDs. Whoops. Final Destination 2. Oh, goodness. It is so hard to take these out without the top falling. Final Destination 1. Transformers, the first one. Very good movie, by the way. Michael Bay did an awesome job with that film. Transformers, Revenge of the Fallen. Ooh. Oh, this is difficult. I may have to just point them out. Transformers, Dark of the Moon. Transformers, Age of Extinction. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the first, the Michael Bay produced one, which was the reboot of the franchise. Not bad, but I have a soft spot in my heart for the 90s Turtles films. I grew up watching those movies as a kid, and for me, those will always be some of the best adaptations of the Ninja Turtles. Resident Evil, which is the first film in the live-action franchise directed by Paul W.S. Anderson. Ant-Man and the Wasp. Can't wait to see Quantumania. It just came out. Avengers Infinity War. One of the best MCU movies of all time. Black Panther. Rush Hour 3. I don't have the first two Rush Hours because this is the only one that I like. Just like Indiana Jones, the only one I liked in Indiana Jones was Temple of Doom. This is the first one I ever saw of Rush Hour, the third one, and this is the only one I like in the trilogy. So that's why I don't have the first two. Thor Ragnarok, which is actually not bad, and it's actually better than Love and Thunder. Spider-Man Homecoming. The Uninvited with one of my favorite actresses, again, Emily Browning. She's right there. This movie is a psychological thriller. It's very good, and it does have a shocker of an ending. And it's one of those psychological thriller movies that plays with your mind, and it is very good. It is so it's not your typical horror movie, but it's creepy and disturbing, and it has a twist that'll play with your head. Doctor Strange. This is actually one of my least favorite movies in the MCU. I know, I'm pretty sure a lot of people think that too. For some reason, I just can't get behind the whole mind tripping, alternate ending, alternate mind bending special effects. Not really a big fan of them. Captain America: Civil War. Source Code. I actually have this movie again. I just recently upgraded it to Blu-ray, but I actually had it again on DVD, and I upgraded it to Blu-ray, and I decided to keep the DVD because I have nowhere to put the DVDs if I upgrade them. So Ant-Man, the first Ant-Man, which was really good. Guardians of the Galaxy, the first Guardians of the Galaxy movie, very good also. Avengers: Age of Ultron, not as good as the first Avengers. Still very good, but not as good as the first Avengers, and definitely probably not as good as Endgame. And yeah, that's probably a lot of people's least favorite Avengers movies. Captain America: The Winter Soldier, which is, in my opinion, I think it's overrated. I don't really like it a whole lot. A lot of people seem to like it a lot. I think it's kind of overrated. It's not as good as everyone makes it out to be. Thor: The Dark World, I don't have a problem with. A lot of people do not like this movie. It's like one of the worst movies in the MCU. Don't know why everyone thinks that, but Iron Man 3, which is good. The first Avengers movie, which is one of the best superhero movies of all time. I saw this movie twice in theaters. I think once in traditional 3D and then again in IMAX. Looked great. Scream 4, which is the fourth film in the franchise. Not as good as the first two. The third one is my favorite one because it's the first one I ever saw of the Scream films. So that one will always have a special place in my heart because that's the first one I ever saw that introduced me into the franchise. Captain America, the first Avenger. Great timepiece. Again, not bad. This is the end. I got this movie again. I upgraded it to Blu-ray, and I also have it on DVD. Ooh. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. Not as good as the first one, but still very entertaining. See No Evil 2. This film was directed by the Sosa sisters. They were actually, they're twins. They're twin sisters who are directors. And it's starring Danielle Harris and Catherine Isabel, and it has Kane from WWE. The first film is a lot better than this one. I don't really think this movie should exist. The first one was perfect the way it was. There was no reason for them to make a sequel to this movie. But, Danielle Harris does a really good job in this movie. So, she's another Scream queen. Mirrors 2, unrated. This is a direct-to-DVD movie, which is, the first one is a lot better than this one. This one, they up the ante with the gore and the kills. So, as far as violence goes and gore and kills, this one is definitely better than the first one because the first one doesn't have as much of that in it. Mirrors, starring Kiefer Sutherland. This is the first film to that one that I just showed you, which is 2. This one is more of a ghost haunting story, and doesn't have a lot of gore, doesn't have a lot of blood. That's why the second one, in my opinion, is slightly better. Final Destination 5. Cannot wait for the new one, if they are making a new one. I love the Final Destination movies, by the way. The 5th one just completely is amazing. They really did up the ante. Spider-Man, Tobey Maguire, 2002. Love that movie. First introduction to the first live-action adaptation. Spider-Man 2, an even better sequel, surpassed the first one. Absolutely awesome. Spider-Man 3, I didn't have a problem with this movie. The fact that it was, that horrible dance sequence, that's it. They did not do Venom right in this movie. Topher Grace makes a terrible Venom and an even terrible Eddie Brock. So yeah, Eddie Brock Jr. So this is See No Evil, which is the first film to the one I showed you, which is a lot gorier, a lot more nasty and gritty and disturbing. Yeah, this is a horror film. The second one is more of a slasher, more than a horror film. The Grudge 2, which is not bad. The Grudge, starring Sarah Michelle Gellar. This movie is up there with The Ring, in my opinion. It's it's a lot more scarier than The Ring, and a lot more eerie and nightmare-inducing, I think. The Mask of Zorro. Halloween Unrated, which is Rob Zombie's Halloween. I like this one better than the second one. The second one isn't as good as the first one. But, it's Rob Zombie's version of Halloween and his take on Michael Myers. So it's unique in its own way. Scream 3. I know this is everyone's probably least favorite movie in the Scream franchise, but this movie holds a special place for me because it's the first movie I ever saw in the Scream trilogy when the first 3 came out. And this is also the movie that introduced me to the band Creed, who became my favorite rock band, and there are music videos on this too. And this is also the movie where I completely fell in love with Neve Campbell. She became one of my favorite actresses. That was my girl. I don't think I'll ever get rid of this film because, whoops, I'll just put this down. Resident Evil, Retribution. Resident Evil Afterlife. Sean Roberts as Albert Wesker is absolutely great in it. Great live action version of him. Clash of the Titans. I do like this movie. I saw this movie in theaters when it came out. Saw it in 3D. Resident Evil Extinction. Not bad. Could have been better. G.I. Joe Retaliation with The Rock, Dwayne Johnson, Channing Tatum, Bruce Willis. Very good sequel. This is more of a G.I. Joe film than the first one. Hollow Man with Kevin Bacon and Elizabeth Shue. This movie, I remember watching the trailer for this came out in 2000. I was back in school, and I remember being so excited for this movie when it came out. It's actually, the special effects actually still hold up pretty decent today. Not bad. Friday the 13th, The Killer Cut. I thought it was really good. Came out in 2009. Ghostbusters 1 and 2. I like both of these. The first one, of course, is a classic, but I still like the second one too. Halloween 2, Rob Zombie's sequel to the first one. Not as good as not as good as his first Halloween, but it's still, it's still a sequel, so that's why I have it. Scream, the original 1996 Scream, classic. Everyone has to have it. The Dark Knight Rises. good. The Dark Knight, still considered one of the best superhero movies of all time. Rest in peace, Heath Ledger was a phenomenal Joker. Batman Begins, a really good introduction to Christopher Nolan's new Batman world. And the last one on the second row, guys, is Fantastic Four: Rise of the Silver Surfer, which is the sequel to the first one. You know, I still like these movies. You know, I mean, I have no problem with Jessica Alba and Michael Chiklis. I thought for the time they were the only Fantastic Four movies we got. So we either had to like them or hate them. And I did like them. Okay, well, so guys, that is it for the second row of my physical media collection. In the next video, I will be doing the third row. And in the final video, I will be doing each one of the last and fourth row. So, you know, hit that like button, subscribe to my channel, and if you like the first part, make sure you check it out and then check out this part too. I'll probably end up posting the third row tomorrow or maybe the next day. But until next time, guys, I will see you all in the next video. Peace.